Buenas tardes a todos. Soy profesora O'Leary y hoy vamos a aprender sobre el medio ambiente. So good morning to everyone, or good afternoon rather. Today we're going to be looking at the environment, and this is looking at Year 10 Higher Spanish work. So to start off with, we've got a list of 1 to 19. And just so you know, for ease, I'm going to try this video in English today. If it's successful, then we will put in more and more Spanish. But just while we're all getting to grips with it, we're going to work a little bit mostly in English and a little bit in Spanish. So you've got your list 1 to 19 of key vocab. In a minute, I'd like you to pause the video and I'd like you to have a go at translating those words, and then we'll go through them. If you get that done quite quickly, they feel quite familiar to you, you've got an extension on the other side. So what do the words in bold mean? And then you're going to see if you can translate the sentences. Definitely use wordreference.com to help you. Try not to use Google Translate. You know we don't like it. So in your own time, pause the video. The next slide you'll see is going to be answers. So definitely pause and I'll talk to you in a second. Okay, so hopefully you pause those answers. So you pause the video. So looking through 1 to 19 then, you can see you've got these keywords. So we've got medio ambiente is the environment, agua is water, malgastar, an AR verb, is to waste, ducharse, one of the reflexive verbs. So remember, we looked at those at the beginning of those reflexive verbs where the se goes to the front of the verb and you change it. Utilizar, to use, vidrio is glass, periódicos is newspapers, probar, to try, consumir is to consume, lavaplatos is dishwasher, reducir is to reduce, contaminación, contamination or pollution, ecológico, ecological, bici, bike, coche, car, la ruta is route, proteger, to protect, la naturaleza, nature, and vista is view. So loads of really good words there that we're going to use this lesson. Now, if we look over at the extension, just quickly going through them, we're going to have a look at what these sentences mean. So I'm going to translate with those for you 1 to 4. You can always mark yours off as you go along if you did them. If you didn't do them, you can always just skip to the next part of the video. So number 1, hay problemas medioambientales en todo el planeta. Me preocupan el calentamiento global y el agujero de la capa de ozono. So there are environmental problems in all of the planet, and I'm worried about global warming and holes in the ozone layer. Currently, now remember, actualmente doesn't mean actually, it's a false friend. So currently, actualmente los problemas más preocupantes son la crisis económica y el precio de la gasolina. So currently, the most worrying problems are the economic crisis and the price of petrol. En España existen problemas como los sin techo, gente que no tiene hogar y que vive en la calle. También el paro es preocupante, es decir, gente sin trabajo. So some really good high-level vocab in this one. So in Spain, lots of problems exist, like, remember that como means like los sin techo, homelessness, so that's a real higher word there. People that don't have a home and that live on the street. Also, unemployment, so el paro, unemployment, is worrying. That's to say, people without a job. Number 4, me preocupan la discriminación y el racismo porque no podemos vivir juntos. So again, it's that I'm worried about discrimination and racism. Why can't we all just live together? So at this point, it might be a nice idea for you to pause the video and just have a look at this glossary. So this is going to be really useful as we move on. You can always come back to this. You can make a note of these words. These are all of the really useful words to do with this theme. Okay? So we're going to have a look at some key phrases here. So what you did to protect the environment when you were little. A lot of this theme 5, is used in the past tense, that idea of what you used to do. So we've got these different phrases here. Para empezar, vamos a en pareja. Uno con el inglés. Por ejemplo, uno cuando era pequeño o cuando era pequeña. The English, which you can see on the other side, we're matching it up, is when I was little. Okay, so that penultimate one on the English side. So vamos a en pareja 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9 y 10 con el inglés, ¿vale? También tenemos la extensión traduce al inglés. Vamos a traducir las frases debajo. So we're going to do the matchup, and then we're going, if that's too easy, we're going to have a look at those key phrases underneath. You've got the Spanish into English, easier. Spanish into English, harder. So there's lots going on there. So pause the video, have a go at those. Okay, so we're going to go through these answers then. So hopefully you just pause the video. Ignore me moving the screen forward. I was just checking something. So we already know number 1. Dos, apagué las luces. I turned off the lights. Desenchufé los aparatos electrónicos. I unplugged electric things. 4. Preferí usar la ducha. I prefer to use the shower. Ahorramos, we saved. Reciclamos, we recycled. Cerramos las ventanas, we closed the windows. Compramos productos verdes, we bought like green products, so ecological products. Malgastamos energía, we wasted energy. And we were a green family. Fuimos una familia verde, so a family that likes to recycle, doing good things for the environment. So let's have a look at these harder translations at the bottom then. So, cuando era pequeña, para proteger el medio ambiente, desenchuché, that's got an accent on it, los aparatos electrónicos. So, when I was younger, I used to protect the environment. I switched off electronic, it's like electronic apparatus, but it means sort of equipment, really. And then el español, cuando era pequeña, como familia, reciclamos plástico y botellas de vidrio porque era importante proteger el medio ambiente. So now we're going to continue with the next slide. Okay. Vale, aquí tenemos las frases en español y luego las frases más difíciles. Okay, so on this side here, we're going to use that vocab that we just looked at, and you're going to translate 1 hasta 5. You're going to translate 1 to 5 as a minimum into English. We know that's our easier skill, so you can pause the video in a minute and work through those. And you've also got 2 extensions there, so you can choose which you prefer to do. You've got some harder translations, extension 1, and then you've got extension 2. Write 20 to 30 words detailing how you protect the environment in Spanish using the present tense, okay? So these phrases here, where we just looked at how you used to protect the environment in the past, this sorted the present tense now. So switching between the two, trying to include as many tenses in our writing as we can. So I want you to pause the video now and just have a go at working through those. Okay, so hopefully we should have just gone through those. So I'm going to go through what these ones mean. I think that lots of you have done really well with these. So, because I know that you're confident with your present tenses. So, for the first one, we've got para proteger. Now, you need to be careful here. Remember that para doesn't mean for in this sense. It means in order to. So, in order to protect the environment, I turn off the lights when I leave a room. Number 2, it's important to protect the environment. So, that entonces is a key word. So, I turn off electronic equipment. That apparatus word coming up again. It's almost like apparatus, but we know it's equipment. Number 3, prefiero usar la ducha. So I prefer to use the shower en vez de. Now remember that en vez de means instead of. It's a really good phrase to use when you're talking about this, and it also gets a comparative in, which we know is a really important skill to use when we're speaking and writing. So I prefer to use a shower instead of the bath because it uses less water. Number 4, it's very important that we save energy. We shouldn't waste anything, like nothing basically. That negative's in there, so we shouldn't waste anything. En mi casa reciclamos todo lo posible. So at my house we recycle everything possible. So now we're going to have a look at these slightly more challenging ones, which we are going to throw in some third person phrases and just a little bit more vocab. So number one, we should have when it's cold. So going all the way back to year 7 with that phrase. When it's cold, my sister closes the windows. Number 2, I always buy green products when we go to the supermarket. Number 3, you must not waste energy because it's expensive. Number 4, we're a green family and we buy products that help protect the environment. And then if you've done the second one, I'd love to see some photos or get those sent in to us, myself and Miss Smith. So there's 20 to 30 words detailing how you protect the environment using the present tense. So you'll definitely have to pause the video for this bit. So what you're going to do is you're going to do a little reading activity, why people should respect the environment or not. So you've got the 4 questions, you've got the text of Anna, Paco, Victor y Maribel. All you need to do is do 1 to 4 and write the name of who you think. So you need to pause the video now before I go through the answers and have a go. You can also have a go at the extension, so translate Paco and Victor into English. Okay, so pause the video now and have a go at that. Okay, so looking at number 1 then, who believes we should protect the environment for future generations? So there's a little hint in there, people. So if we have a read through the text, we can see we've got, for example, in Maribel, no quiero que mis nietos vivan en un mundo que es peligroso. So nietos, grandchildren, okay? So got nietos as grandchildren. Deberíamos hacer todo posible para proteger los niños del futuro. Well, niños del futuro, we're probably talking, well, we know we're talking about future children there, and that idea of the future, el futuro, links in nicely. So number 1, we should have Maribel. Okay. Question 2, who believes that there are more important things to worry about than the environment? So we've got, if we have a look here, we've got on Paco, no es importante respetar el medio ambiente porque hay cosas más importantes en el mundo como la guerra o la pobreza. No me preocupan el medio ambiente ni el calentamiento global. So what Paco is saying here, that there are more important things, that comparative is coming in again. So hay cosas más importantes en el mundo como la guerra o la pobreza. Guerra meaning war and pobreza, poverty. Number 3, who thinks that protecting the environment is a global problem that affects everyone? So for that one, if we have a look, we've got, I'm working these out with you guys, I'm doing it. Okay, so if we look at Victor says, la verdad es que deberíamos hacer todo posible para proteger el medio ambiente porque es un problema muy grave que afecta a todas las personas del mundo. So that last sentence in Victor is the key. It's a problem, it's a serious problem that affects all of the people in the world. Okay? So mundo there, meaning world, that's the key there, that word. And the last one, who thinks our planet is precious and necessary to protect? So naturally that's got to be Anna. She says, deberíamos respetar el medio ambiente porque nuestro planeta es muy valiosa y solo tenemos una. So we've only got one planet, so we must protect it. And that word valiosa as well, linking into precious, okay? Just really quickly, if you did the extension, we'll just go through those for Paco and Victor. So Paco says it's not important to respect the environment because there are more important things in the world like war or poverty. I'm not worried about the environment, nor am I worried about global warming. And then Victor says the truth is that we must do everything we can to protect the environment because it's a serious problem that affects all of the people in the world. Okay, so moving on then. You've got a higher text to translate now into English. So this is something you would see on the reading paper, not on the writing paper. Remember, on the writing paper, you're translating from English into Spanish. Reading paper, you'll get given a chunk of text like this one. It won't be little sentences, it'll be a chunk, and you will have to translate it. So pause the video here, and then I would like you to have a go at translating those, okay? Okay, so if we go through the answers for this one then, so we've got, hello, my name is Enrique. In my opinion, it's very important to protect the environment because it's our planet. So nuestra is probably one of the more challenging words, is our. So our planet, and it's very precious. That word's coming up again, isn't it, that we saw from the last activity. In the next 12 months, I think that we must recycle everything possible at home, including glass, paper, plastics, and food products. In school, there's a lot that we can do. The teachers must recycle paper every day, and they must unplug electronic equipment. I don't like to waste energy because it is very bad for the environment. Also, it's very expensive. Okay? So the next thing that you're going to do is just have a go at this writing question here. Down the side, you can see the blue of what you need to do. And I'm going to leave that up so you can have a think about it. Okay, so hopefully you had some ideas about this. So what you're going to do with this one is, it is an 80 to 90 word question. You can see down the bottom there. And I would give yourself about 10 minutes to do this. If you did your big writing question last week, if you haven't done it, you can do this one instead. But you did your big writing question last week. So I want you just to have a look at those questions down the side and just jot down some bullet points from what you've learnt today based on those bullet points. And again, it'd be great if you could send those into your teachers, or even if you want to go above and beyond and have a go at answering that, that'd be fantastic. So well done to everyone. You've worked really hard if you've got through all of this. It's like a normal standard lesson. If you put in the pause times, hopefully it should have taken you maybe around 40 minutes to an hour. Obviously it's going to be a little bit shorter because you're doing one-on-one. But well done, you've done really well, and I can't wait to see photos or images of what you've done. So I will speak to you next week, and well done.